Welcome in, everybody, to the Phightins final. Not exactly the start of the season we were all looking for, but we broke out the brooms, but for the wrong team. The bad guys got their brooms out and swept the Phillies. That's right. We're down 0-3 to start the season. All the excitement, just waiting and seething for some baseball after the postseason run they had last year. Seems like a million miles away. Matt and I welcome in with me today, Matty B, right alongside with me because I needed a little therapy with it. It was going to be hard to do this one by myself.
Yeah, and I'm the right guy to call for that.
Yeah, right.
It's not. But I guess we got to pull the positives. They did not give up 10 runs or more. Bailey Falter.
It's a good start. They limited it just to 2 runs tonight, but that's all. It was a 2-1 final, and that's all the Rangers needed. We'll go over that in a second. But I remind you guys that this show is brought to you by great sponsors over at sherrystickets.com, Dolan's Bar, Cherry Injury Law, as well as phillysportstrips.com, and we'll get into that. And guys, hopefully we'll be your therapy tonight. But and here we go. Here's Joe Sullivan right now, not panicking. For some reason, these Phillies can't beat Texas. I was on the air earlier today in the morning with Pat and Mike over at the PM and the AM, our Sunday morning show. I said that I had a theory. I'm not surprised the Phillies are off to a rough start. A little rougher than I expected. I expect at least to get a win tonight, maybe. But one of my key reasons why I didn't expect a great series here is kind of what Joe's saying. For whatever reason, they seem to struggle in Texas against the Rangers. But the shortened off season, just the team, the world. I play a little bit on the World Baseball Classic, things like that, and some questionable lineup issues, which we'll get into tonight as well. But I'm not panicking either, Joe. Maddie, are you panicking, taking your pills? Any extra blood pressure meds tonight?
No, no, I'm not. But it is very disheartening and it's very alarming. I don't see a sense of urgency, but is there a sense of urgency you can see at Game 3? I didn't like the lineup choice, and so we'll get into that. But panicking, no. Concerned, yeah, because they're going to hit. It's not like we're going to and no disrespect to the Miami Marlin fan base or any team of that ilk. It's not like we're going there. We're going to the Bronx, to battle the Yankees in the next 3. And Al, we talked about this off camera earlier today. Is there a possibility that the Phillies come home to do their flag and ring ceremony as an 0-6 baseball team?
Well, they're also a start for that's a possibility. So, yes, there is a possibility. I don't know how strong of a possibility, but there is a possibility. Let's hope that's not that, because if not, I would hope they postpone flag and ring ceremonies just for another couple of weeks, because I don't even know if, as a Philly, I would want that. But a couple of more comments here. 0-12 versus the Rangers. Good thing Dallas is not in the NL East. Yes, no, and Bruce Bochy also, there's another factor into why they struggle. Bruce Bochy always seems to have the Phillies number. Joey's back here. Losing sucks, but encouraged by Falter. We're going to get that in a few. Falter, he had really showed us a lot last season. Had that one start in the postseason, rough start, but thank God the other guy's start was rougher. But yeah. Why did he start the new guy at center field? He absolutely blows. We're going to get into that in a moment, too. And the Phillies could be 1-5 coming home. Yeah, Matty B, it's a real possibility. No, it's a strong possibility, Matt, the way they're playing. Let's just hope they get they kind of get inside their own heads and they make some managerial moves that'll make sense to us. But let's get into the key moments here. And I want to remind you that these key moments are brought to you by sherrystickets.com. That's right, Sherry's Ticket Town. No hidden fees, great prices, sports, concerts, theaters, you name it. Those hard-to-get tickets, you can get them easily at sherrystickets.com with no hidden fees at checkout, and save an additional 10% off by using that great promo code EOP10. That's right, the promo code is EOP10 at sherrystickets.com. So let me go through some of these key moments for you while we have this up. And let's see when we have one more comment. Yes, we do. You have a question? Go ahead, Steve. Send us a question. Let's see. Let's go for these key moments. Well, one key moment brings up that guy that Joe was talking about, Christian Pache, however you want to say his name. Hopefully, we're not going to be saying it too much longer the way he's going. He at one point was a stud in the Braves organization, but he has bopped around a couple teams since then. The Phillies have guys at first and third, one out. He comes up in the second, grounds out, 3 outs. They're out of the inning, and it's it was looking like the Phillies were going to put some points on the board. Hopefully, the worst thing, he could have just struck out staring at the ball, would have been the best thing for us. Like at that point, it would have been the best thing for us. Move on to the bottom of the second. Josh Young, is it Young or Jung? I've heard it so many different ways. I go with
it's Jung.
Jung. Okay, Josh Jung homers, makes it 1-0. That's a solo home run. 1-0 Rangers. Get all the way to the fourth inning for the Phillies. So used to do that Flyers one for the Phillies to finally get on the board, but it was in a double play, might I add. Not the most traditional ribbies, but Josh Harrison grounds into a double play, and of course Nick Castellanos crosses the plate, and him and Alec Bohm are out, and that's 2 outs, and then Christian Pache looks at the ball striking out.
Never got the bat off his shoulder.
that good play at center field. He had that. He probably saved another run, or at least putting a guy in scoring position. It would have been a complete just lackluster game for him.
Yeah.
Brings us to the fifth. The game is tied 1-1. And Marcus Semien, who just seems to be on fire so far, grounds the ball to right fielder Nick Castellanos, and then there you go. They put Mitch Garver across the plate, making it 2-1, and that's all the Rangers would need to win the game. And JT Realmuto grounds it out to a double play, as well as Nick Castellanos stares at the ball. I mean, it goes out swinging, which is kind of his MO. I mean, he started off kind of he started off like, all right, with I think it was like a couple walks. He had a couple walks, and it was strikeout. So it's like, all right, some plate discipline. He's getting walked. That if you want to look at any silver lining, that was a bit of a silver lining. Let's go to some of these questions here. Are you looking for any more podcasters? Not at this time, Steve. We'll keep you posted, or we'll put something out there if we are. But thank you for asking. But keep sharing and hanging out. Walter here is saying San Diego started 0-2 at home, and they were booed mercilessly. Can you imagine if the Phillies were 0-6 and go home? These fans will really let them have it. No, and here's my thing is, I think anybody should let them have it 0-6 to us. That's not what you expect from your National League champs, about to get their rings and their flag raised. The only thing that's going to be raised is a few middle fingers, a few thousand middle fingers at this point. He sucks so bad he's not worthy of me knowing his name. Yes, it's Christian Pache. I get it. I get it, and I'm hoping. He just joined the team. I'm still kind of wondering why he's getting the start over certain guys. I understand. I understand certain guys are maybe struggling against certain type of pitching, but I gotta imagine our other center field choices are better, such as like Jake Cave or something. I don't understand how this guy who struggled, who wasn't great he was okay this spring training with the A's, yet somehow still gets a start when he just joined the team. So I don't I don't understand that move. To me, that's one of the two big head scratchers that we'll talk about tonight. What's up, Chris here? What's up with the team? Every year, this offense starts out cold. What's going on? That's why I don't get upset. I mean, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed as a fan, Matt. I know you are. I'm annoyed with these slow starts, but 162 games. I mean, even if you have a good season, you're gonna be losing 70-ish games. You know what I mean? So, I mean, hopefully it's all up front, and then they go on a 6-game winning streak, and then you guys, we don't care about it anymore. I mean, it's just that is baseball. You get the short memory, and it is just it's so early. It's so early to get upset, but it is a little disheartening. Maybe let me ask you a question, Matt. Is it maybe Reese Hoskins and the loss of Harper and Hoskins now? This team maybe not as good as we thought it was just yet. They're still kind of finding themselves and maybe finding that leader in the locker room.
I mean, I don't know. That could be some of it, but let's forget this team was an 87 win team last year. We have a tendency to forget that because of the run they went on in the postseason. But they only won 87 games, and there was a moment there in September that we were kind of concerned they weren't going to. All right,
There's a couple guys who thought that us making the postseason wasn't going to happen, let alone the run that we had.
So listen, I think we lost sight of that a little bit because of that postseason run, and this team has some flaws heading into the season. Now we thought they were addressed with the additions of Trey Turner, and we thought they were addressed with plussing up the bullpen. By the way, Greg Soto had a hell of a bounce back effort tonight.
Sure, absolutely.
But I don't know. And then you factor in the injury to Reese Hoskins. I think maybe it's just a team that's got some holes, and you factor in the factor of the fact that Bryce Harper's not here. I mean, everybody, that's a very understated loss that we really didn't talk about that much because we were like, well, we just came off a World Series run. We can handle it. Listen, Bryce Harper's huge. Not having him in that lineup, it changes the entire dimension of the starting lineup. And then you add in Reese Hoskins, who I wasn't a big Reese Hoskins guy either, and I don't necessarily think he's that big of a loss. Maybe inside the clubhouse he might be. I mean, he wouldn't be hitting anyway. He doesn't hit till June himself. So what are we talking about? What Reese Hoskins is going to do? But I think it's just a matter of we might have given the Phillies a little bit too much credit heading into the season with all the adversity they were facing, and then you factor in Hoskins.
I mean, listen, we always come in hot. You bring in a guy like Trey Turner. You have the run that you had last year. Some big names in pitching, but guys who struggled. I mean, Soto is no different than what Alvarado was to us last year in the beginning. And we all by mid-June we wanted him out. Like people wanted him gone. So I'm not sure. What is 7-9 Sheagles go Cowboys? I don't understand. I think I Love Weed is high as a kite right now.
You gotta love the Phightins final, man. We get them all. Come on, keep it coming.
I know it's late, but I mean, the football season hasn't started yet, right?
It just ended. Whatever.
Maybe I love acid flashbacks. I don't know. I haven't. Let's see what he's got. Other. I don't trust 4-letter names, Reese. Oh, you trust weed apparently, and that's 4 letters. So that's good for you, brother. So he's just living internally in
his own world.
For a guy who loves the team mediocrity, he tries to put everybody else in mediocrity too.
Listen, Al, to kind of give I Love Weed a little props, we both sat here multiple times last year saying we were both done with Reese Hoskins. And we both don't deny it because
I believe I used the term I'm tired of the Reese Hoskins experiment.
Right, exactly. But the fact is, when he does go down, and we didn't really go out to kind of plan on not having him, and it was somewhat of it is a complete shock that we had to go through the season without him. They were relying on him, and left us a little barren. But why wasn't Derek Hall playing tonight? Why is Alec Bohm playing third base in Game 3 of the season? Or first base in Game 3 of the season? Why is Sosa getting to start at third in Game 3 of the season? I don't understand the lineup decision here. We have young, unproven players like Derek Hall at first base who needs the friggin' reps. Give him the reps. I don't get that. I really don't.
I get that point, but I'm not really shocked nor I understand a little bit. They were high on Sosa. He had a really good spring training. He had a lot of power coming off the pop of his bat. And they wanted to get him in the lineup, and I think the best way was to put the hot-handed Alec Bohm over at first, and give Derek Hall night off, and give Sosa a chance to play.
Nobody should be getting a night off Game 3.
I'm not saying a night off, but like I think they're just trying to. Right now, they're doing a lot of tinkering. It's tinkering time.
Is that a panic move by Rob Thompson, or is that just kind of the flow of the team?
That's just the flow. Look at, like I said, some of these guys haven't been there for most of spring training, and because of the World Baseball Classic, so he's got to see what he has. So It is what it is. So I don't. I'm not saying it's a panic move. I think it's just if I'm going to experiment, I'm going to experiment now.
Like I love weed.
Yes, I love weed's been experimenting with quite a few things. And it can get you in trouble. You never know what's going to get you in trouble. And if you ever get yourself in any trouble, criminal law issues, personal injury, motor vehicle accidents, workers' comp, David R. Cherry is the man. Call him at 610-565-0300, cherryinjurylaw.com.
Did you get that? I love weed. You want me to put that slide back up? Did you write
Yeah.
information down?
He won't. He may not even remember that. So we'll let him go. But I mean, we're going to talk about the pitching in a second. But real quick, man, I want to ask you a question. Like,
Yep.
Is Kyle Schwarber at second? Like, is that just like at the number 2 spot? Is that an appeasement because we can't put you at first because the number leadoff spot because we got Trey Turner who's fleet of foot and he's and everything else? But is it or is it that they really think he's good at the number 2 spot?
You're going to have to start wondering that question, the answer to that question. And I go back to last season when we sat here, even after Rob Thompson took over, and said, why is he still going with Kyle Schwarber in the leadoff spot? Why is he still doing this? Why is he still doing this? He wouldn't come off that hill, and he's got, I guess, conviction to stay on that hill. But I don't know. He serves no purpose in that 2 hole. He's almost like now it's that number 1 and 2 hole. No matter how much you change the game of baseball with analytics, 1 and 2 are still table setters in my opinion, and both of them are very important in getting the offense started. Kyle Schwarber should be batting 4 or 5 in my opinion, because
absolutely
that's where he belongs. That's where his depth in the lineup is. Now, is it a Bryce Harper thing? Is that why he's batting so high in the lineup? Because we don't have Harper at 2, or I'm sorry, Harper at 3. I don't know, and they don't maybe trust Castellanos in 5. I don't understand. I don't know that, but right now with our cleanup hitter situation, I guess Derek Hall will be the cleanup hitter on most nights. Is that kind of what I can understand that to be? And he's unproven there.
Well, that's my thing. Is you just said it earlier. He's unproven. I don't understand why he's in at that spot. I understand maybe, like I said earlier, I might be contradicting myself that he's experimenting, giving guys a chance to play because Derek Hall probably wouldn't have this chance if it wasn't for the injury to Rhys Hoskins, and so they have to see what do we have with Derek Hall, or do we where's Dombrowski call? Is he picking up the phone and is he making calls?
Yeah. However, I don't like Schwarber in 1, 2. I don't even like him 3. I like him 4 through 6. And it's not a dig on Schwarber. It's actually to benefit. It's to maximize what he brings to this team. He's a power hitter. He's going to hit you 46 home runs. Well, why not give him the most people on base in front of him to hit those 46 home runs with? To me, that's what it's all about. It's not a slight to him. It's not saying that you can't handle it. I don't want you batting second or third because I want you batting lower in the lineup to give you more opportunities to drive me in more runs. It's baseball 101.
Yeah, and let's talk about the pitching. I want to run through the lines with you real quick. Bailey Falter, once again, looking for that silver lining. Bailey Falter went 5-1 innings. I don't understand. I felt they pulled him a little early. The guy they were going up against, he struck out twice, yet they pulled him. I don't know why they didn't let him at least finish the inning. Maybe the analytics told him something, but went 5-1. He let up 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, and let up that 1 solo home run that we talked about. And he has a respectable 3.38 ERA after this start. Bellotti, who's been, I think he's pitched in every game so far. He went the other 2/3 of the inning and let up no runs and just got the side out. Brogdon came in for 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. And then you had Soto, who had like you said, much more respectable outing than he did the first time with 2 strikeouts. He's still touting a glorious 27.00 ERA. It's going to take a little time for that comes down, I guess.
Yeah, let's hope it comes down soon.
Yeah. We had 1 pitch timer violation tonight, and that was with Pache, by the way,
yes.
if you really are keeping track of it. 1 balk for Perez. And that's about it. with the Phillies leaving 1 out of 8 runners in scoring position. They're 1 for 8 in runners in scoring position, with 8 left on base, of course, and that was your pitching, which was good. I mean, if I told you at the beginning of the night that the Phillies would only let up 2 runs against the Rangers this one, you would feel like, all right, then they probably get the W, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's not how it played out.
No, it's not, and it's really because it's almost because we needed this effort. We needed Bailey Falter to come out or somebody to come out and stabilize things. He did for the most part. Very happy with his performance tonight. But now you're looking at 2 spots in the rotation heading up to New York in what Matt Strom and what who would it be
Walker
and Walker.
Walker, I think starts tomorrow, and I think Strom
on
starts on Tuesday. Where
Nola
Painter
went.
would have been, and then Nola back on Wednesday. So that means the home opener will be most likely Mr. Wheeler.
Yeah. We needed it. We needed the strong effort, but we also needed a little bit more offense. And that's why, again, I didn't understand why the tinkering with the lineup tonight, because you really should have thrown everything you could at this thing to try to get a win, to get some confidence, get some feel good vibes going on in the clubhouse. So yeah, great. But it was nice to see Falter pitch as well as he did. Didn't like the fact that we did use 4 more pitchers tonight, which again is an alarming rate. We've been going deep into that bullpen all this entire series. So that wasn't good, but at least we kept their innings down a little bit. But yeah,
and I guess even though they didn't really need the time off on Friday, and then they have another day off on Friday, we'll give this chance for this bullpen to get a little rest.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't. It's just I would have thought with the changes in baseball, they would have added allow teams to add 4 more relief pitchers. I'm just saying, with all the analytics and all the changes that guys, rarely going past 6 innings, you're going to need deeper pitching, and I don't understand how they get away with it. I don't understand why they didn't do that. I would have thought something like that would have happened.
Oh, I mean, listen, the fact that the pitchers are not coached today to go 9 innings and throw 130 pitches a game is I don't know. It's a coaching thing. I mean, 20 years ago, that was the norm. What Steve Carlton was throwing 260 innings a season, 7, 8 complete games, averaged about 120 pitches a game. So, I mean, there's nothing changed.
You don't even have to go that far back. I mean, I remember Cliff Lee and Roy Halladay just seeing who can out full game each other, who can throw the most full, and then the other guys were I'm going to try to get on this. You know what I mean?
Right. So it's analytics that have changed, not the players. And we've just kind of gone along with analytics saying we can't keep a kid in there more than 65, 70 pitches a game. And typically that's around the 5th inning now. When did that become a thing too? So it's the way that they're coaching and playing baseball these days. It's not necessarily the game. It's just the way it's being interpreted. And it's really sickening to me, actually. I can't stand analytics, Al. I hate them. I hate them a lot.
Listen, analytics has been part of the game forever. I mean,
it's taking it over, Al.
Well, that's the point. Everything we just read off here and talked to you about that's analytics. But it's where the decisions are made based on that, which I don't think Rob Thompson's a slave to the analytics. Not like Joe Girardi became. If the book said so, then it must have been true. Yeah. But to me, that's kind of I look at analytics in baseball like I look at guys playing poker, like professional poker. If you made every move based by what you should have done, like the position of play, or who made the first bet, who raised, who didn't, who checked, all that kind of stuff, what you see out there, and you play the percentages in your head, then you would never lose a hand. So sometimes you got to go against the book. You got to go against the analytics, and that's how I look at it. And I mentioned, that means we're probably going to see Mr. Wheeler in the home opener. And for the home opener, it's not on this graphic, but you can still get yourself in at Philly Sports Trip's tailgate at the live casino, which I will be stopping by to say hello to Vince and the guys. I think Uncle Charlie Manuel is going to be there to stop in and say hello to everybody. So you can go there, great food, great drinks. Meet Charlie Manuel, hang out. Don't have to worry about setting up your tailgate, burn down your own car or something like that. One simple price gets you there and gets you everything you need, and then you get to go home, hopefully with a W in the pocket. But there's also great things like Kansas City. Go to Kansas City after the draft. They have both the Denver games for both the Union and the Phillies coming up in May. London and Leeds for the Union as well as many other baseball trips over the summer. And of course, once that Eagles schedule releases, we'll know where they're going to be going all the time. I wonder, I haven't even talked to Vince yet. I'm going to have to talk to him this week. Will they be going to Germany?
Oh, yeah.
They did go to England.
They did.
When the Eagles went to England, Philly Sports Trips was there.
They did.
So I wonder.
Here's another Eagles question for you, Al. Real quick. We'll get back to the Phillies. Eagles Chiefs opening night, that Thursday game in Kansas City.
You think that's what it is?
I think it has to be.
No,
it has to be.
I don't know. I don't think so. They usually one of the teams play.
Well, Kansas City, they get the privilege of opening the season at home and get their rings.
But usually they don't do the Super Bowl matchup. Usually that's not what they're going to start off with.
My money's on Eagles Chiefs that Thursday night to start the season.
All right. I just don't. I don't see it happening. I just don't. They never seem to do that, like the exact Super Bowl matchup. Like it would be like maybe the AFC, maybe like the Bengals. That would be like I would see them do that, something like that.
I don't know.
But we'll find out. Now let's look around the league real quick. Of course, we are the Sunday night game, so all the other games have been played or finishing up at this point. Let's look at Tampa Bay beat Detroit 5-1. Boston beat Baltimore 9-5. Washington beat Atlanta 4-1. The Yankees beat San Fran 6-0. The Reds beat Pittsburgh 3-1. Looks like all the away teams, all the home teams are winning so far. Miami lost to the Mets 5-1. There you go. Here's your first one. And then the Twins beat KC in 7-4. The White Sox beat Houston 6-3. And Toronto lost to St. Louis 9-4. Chicago lost to Milwaukee 9-5. And let's see. I just lost my spot. There it is. The Angels beat Oakland 6-0, with Arizona beating LA 2-1, and San Diego beating Colorado 3-1. With the last game going into 10 innings, Cleveland beating Seattle, the Guardians, that is, 6-5, and that is your scores around the league tonight.
You know who hit his very first MLB home run today?
Who's that?
Mr. Logan O'Hoppe.
O'Hoppe got his first home run today. Are you going to sit there and
tell me
that we made a big move?
All season long we track
every time he has something.
I got his. I'm already got his stat line down. I'm tracking him all season long. That trade is going to bite us in the ass. I'm telling you.
It could.
JT could be playing first right now, and O'Hoppe could be catching.
I don't know. Yes. I don't know about that.
You don't know. Yes, of course.
I don't know how I can't sit there and tell you that. I haven't seen enough O'Hoppe to sit there and tell you that it wouldn't be a drastic drop from him from a defensive catching position, from him to JT. I don't know enough about him to answer that question, to disagree or agree with you in that. That's what I'm saying. Like, is he that? He has one home run, and here we go. Okay, so now we're ready to just,
that's right.
Gush all over him. I'm not there yet.
All right, I'll keep you updated on him all season. Al, I promise.
Listen, we should do our O'Hoppe check-ins. I'm okay with that. But that, guys, that is your final score of 2-1. The Texas Rangers opened the closet, broke out all the brooms, and swept the Phillies out of Dallas. Swept them right out of Dallas. I wouldn't say the fat lady sung for us this weekend, but that was she wasn't fat. Taylor Swift was in the parking lot across from the Phillies. So if you want Taylor Swift tickets, you better break a couple piggy banks or vaults, as we've talked about that earlier.
Yeah, that's
crazy for the cost of them. But do you see any, I know it's the Yankees. It's a really tough team to go up against when you're struggling already.
Yeah.
But is there any silver linings you're looking for? Any matchups you're looking for in this coming series?
So let's look at the upcoming series. So the Phillies, for the first time since November, are going to be traveling back to the north. They haven't been in North territory playing baseball since Game 5 of the World Series.
Yeah.
They've been down Florida for they finished up in Houston, went to Florida, and then went out to Arlington. So now they're going to venture north. It's colder up here, obviously. It's colder in the Bronx. Maybe it'll shut everybody down. I don't know. Maybe that will benefit the Phillies as they're trying to kind of figure themselves out. So I guess the matchup between the Phillies and the cold is what I'm looking at. But when you mess around that Stanton and that Judge middle part of the Yankee lineup, I mean, if Simeon and Garver were launching them out in Houston or in Texas, God help us against Judge and Stanton. So I don't know. Maybe the Phillies in the cold is what I'm looking for, I guess.
I'm just looking for anything at this point. I'm just looking for a W. I just want a W. I don't care how ugly it is. I don't care how nasty it is. I just want a W. Get the monkey off the back. Because like I said, I was trying to find silver linings tonight, and like I said, my silver linings were the bullpen did much better. Bailey Falter, and I don't want to sit there and say I called this, but I said watch Bailey Falter have a better night than Nola and the other guys did, because he's seen the pitch clock or timer or whatever. I don't want to yell at that again. He's dealt with the pitch timer. So I think you're going to see like some of these young guys come out and look good early on because they're used to it, and it's going to take some time for these more veteran seasoned guys. And real quick, I don't think were you watching the broadcast on ESPN?
I was.
Did you see they were talking to Bryce?
I did.
And Harper said, he kind of like said something along the lines of like we want our baseball back because of the timer.
Yeah, that made me do a double take. What was he saying? Like he wanted the game back, like get rid of the timer, give us our game back.
We would like to get our game back, but he knows it's not happening. And then they kind of blew past it at first.
They did.
And then they kind of circled back around and said, "Oh, we want to make sure we heard you right. Did you say something about getting your game back?" And he goes, "No, I don't remember that." Like he handled it well. Like when because he probably said, "Going, nah, yeah, I'm not going to open up that can of worms here on national TV on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball." Can I just say I don't like a mic'd up team member when they're on the field?
Don't like it either.
I don't know why. If that it's so weird that one time caused an issue, I'd be pissed off.
Yep.
And so far, guys, it's not been a great night for Philly sports. We mentioned earlier, there was a lot of primetime Philly sports. You had between 6 and 8, you had 4 Philly teams going off. The Sixers just got walloped by the Bucks, and of course, the Phillies just lost, and I don't know where the Flyers are at right now.
Oh no, they lost.
Did they lose? Oh yeah, they did. It was like 6-3 or something. Or
4-2.
Oh, 4-2. I'm sorry. I did see that pop up on my screen quickly. So they lost. I don't know how the Wings did. I would have to check on that. That was the other 4th team. But so yeah, not a great night for your Philly sports. From a win standpoint. But let me see if there's one saving grace here. Oh God, they don't come up right away. Really? I hate these websites sometimes. You're not going to give me tonight's scores. Why am I even looking towards the? Let me go back one. Here we go. They won. Squeaked one out. There you go. One W. The Wings won in overtime, 14-3 over the dreaded Rochester Nighthawks or whatever they are.
Got the win.
Yeah, and like I said, it was a final score of 117-104.
Wasn't the Gobbler there?
Was he the good luck charm over? Yes, we have Pat Bernard. Pat Bernard was down covering this game, so the Gobbler was good luck, or maybe he ate all the hot dogs before Rochester could get to him, so they were depleted of energy. I don't know. God only knows what goes on there, but yeah. So there was one good thing, I guess, if you're a lacrosse fan. The Wings did get the W. So 1 out of 4 teams won, and it's the one that nobody really cared about. But whatever.
We're just kidding.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. But that's about it tonight, guys. I want to thank Maddie B for joining me tonight. I want to thank all our sponsors for being awesome as well. Here is a quick sneak peek at this week's lineup. Tomorrow night we'll start off with the Sully squad at 6, and then we'll have the Phightins finals with the Yankees. Who's on that one tomorrow, Matt?
I think tomorrow's Pat.
Pat. All right.
No,
So
no.
the Gobbler will be taking the post game show tomorrow night, and we will have a post game show for every game. So there's a game every night this week except for Friday. So there'll be plenty of Phightins finals, but as well as you can see, many other live shows. This is not including the massive amount of draft content that we've been pumping out. And I've said it all the time. I would challenge anybody to tell they cover the draft better than Edge of Philly Sports does, because they don't. Right. So everybody have a great night. And yes, I have to throw this out there. Yes, his partner in crime, the M and PM and the AM, throwing Pat under the bus one more time for the night. But guys, other than that, I'm out of here. Thank you, Matty B, for joining us, and hopefully we can see a victory before the Phillies return home to Citizens Bank Park. And we are out of here.